Yesterday was a wonderful day for me, for us. Monday, that is. So you can see a nice moving gold. This time we closed at a new all-time high. That candle, separates itself from the others. We sort of went sideways for a few days, still sort of overall grinding higher, which has been the thesis in gold. That's just been the way it is, which is why it's been so good actually. It's just been grinding higher. Everyone who thinks it's going to go back down has just been left in the dust. But yeah, look at this. A new all-time high close. The close is higher than all the other highs. So it suggests we want to keep going up. Obviously, Wednesday we have the Fed meeting, so maybe that's a run into that. I don't think we're going to come back down. I don't think it's like a buy the rumor, sell the fact thing. I think it's either 25 or 50 basis points. If it's 25, do we go back down? I doubt it. If we do, we come back here, we close the gap, and we go all the way back up to new highs. Because ultimately, we're gonna cut rates and probably do QE, and I mean that's probably the best case for gold. And every single star out there in the cosmos is aligned for this to keep going up long term. So gold going up as it should. But yesterday's move indicates a higher move continuing and more aggressive actually. That move up. Silver, I think, has been outperforming gold a little bit. That Thursday candle, if I remember, was better than gold. Friday, wonderful new all time. Obviously, we haven't taken out 50, but 52-week high, weekly close. Yesterday, Monday's candle, almost perfect. Close at all time high. I mean, close at high of day. Today, whatever, it's too early. But we'll probably just, I don't know, I hate to say it, we'll just probably keep going up. But yeah, at least up until the Fed. Silver, obviously gold, there is no data on the left because it's all time new record highs every day. But silver, I'm just looking here. All right, so this 43 point sort of this little candle here, 43 point whatever it is, four, and then 44 for me, 44 just sticks out a little bit. Like, yes, it's a beeline to 50, but I don't know, 43.5/44. You could see a little trim. I don't know. I don't know if it's the old habit in me, but some of these miners are up so much. The RSI, not even the RSI, just the vertical move is absurd. And yesterday was a very good day for silver miners. By the way, uranium miners did really good too. I've got quite a bit of that too. That's the last thing I needed, just a nice move up in that. But gold and silver just indicate more of an upward move towards Fed Wednesday at least. And I'm wondering if it's maybe worth, because I said, look, I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to sell at least as much as I typically would. But now reaching 40, for me, the exception was this sort of 43, 44, at least 44 and 50. Got to sell into that something. Sell 2%, 5%, 10%, and then leave the core 90 forever. I mean, come on, how could you be against that? And I don't know, every day I'm looking at it thinking, Jesus, I haven't trimmed anything today or the last 3 days. I've sold like, what was it, 5 shares of CD, something pathetic. And I'm just like, what am I doing? And the value of the portfolio, I say it almost every video now, it's if there is a big dump down, even though I think it will go back up to new highs, it's just, did you really have to endure the full position drop? But anyway, yields. Yeah, nothing much about yields, by the way. I didn't cover dollar yields. 2 year bouncing on its lows, ready to for a flush. Yields are just sort of drifting low, and they don't have the strength they used to have. I do, obviously, Peter Schiff, my little idol for macroeconomics, he says that we're going to go to new all-time. Well, the long-term yields are going to break out. You don't see that right now, but I think you can see that medium to long term. That would make sense. Obviously the short end just flushes. So it doesn't look very strong now, but I think after Fed Day Wednesday, it's gonna be a big move. DXY, by the way, since we're on the topic, is just grinding lower lows, lower highs, just looking. I mean, this has no chance in, well, I don't know, Fed Day Wednesday, who knows? But this looks like it just wants to go test its absolute lows. But let's revisit that not after Fed Day Wednesday, after the close on Thursday. I would trust that move more. I always trust the day after the Fed day. And by the close also. All right, let's look at the miners, right? That's what we really care about. GDX. Yeah, GDX up, 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 way beyond all the resistance. We're at new all-time record high, so no point in zooming out. Obviously, even that little candle there on Friday, that was not bearish. You know, made new highs and we closed almost at a higher high than the last close. But here, straight away Monday, just bullish engulfing candle suggests we want to keep going up. And I'm seeing a lot more people just sort of not getting bearish, but just saying, hey, it would be a healthy thing to just have a bit of a retracement. And I'm just, maybe the move up towards Wednesday is something that should be trimmed. That's what I'm thinking. I know it's annoying, like some videos I say I'm done with the trims long term, but just GDXJ, same thing. Okay, we didn't close absolute high of day, but still pretty bullish engulfing there. You can zoom out, but I don't see anything until 100. Maybe you got something there at 97, but still higher. Yeah, 100 basically. We're almost there. I remember when that was like a 20% move or something. Now it's 8%. It's like two good days or one very good day. But it's just very, very vertical, don't you think? SIL, yeah, straight through all resistance. Next stop, that's a bit far away though, isn't it? The thing about silver though is when we take out 44, it is moved to 50, and then these things just have to continue going vertical. I've got something there, 70, just, the support of those candles, the resistance of those, you see what I mean? That's probably something maybe midpoint between where we are and this little 76 zone. How far away is that? That's another nice good day, and then you got your Fed day. I'm starting to think about something like this, just sort of find one more up. I mean, look at SILJ, what a wonderfully strong candle. 3.5%, not the biggest candle, but still just perfect beauty. Also reaching resistance apparently. Oh yeah, the all-time high in SILJ. Normally I'm just honestly that hesitation in me just saying sell something. Because honestly, yesterday, I don't think I sold anything. I think I did the smallest trim of CDE or something, something pathetic, just symbolic. All right, let's look at the actual, because these are ETF. Ultimately, the real thing that counts for me is the individual miners. Newmont, yeah, and the seniors, even though GDX looks okay, at least the seniors I hold, they were very weak, or at least they didn't go up much. And I'm actually considering sort of changing the value I put in my seniors and just adding more on the mid tiers now. The Equinox, at least what I call mid tiers, the Equinox, the I Am Golds, because they move more now day to day, relatively speaking, I'm quite sure. And I have almost 1.5 times the amount in seniors, and I feel like making it either reducing the seniors or upping the mid tiers, maybe reducing the seniors since I'm looking to trim anyway. And that's something, all right, Newmont, for example, you can see nice candle, but the close was basically in line with the close on Friday, which means we were unchanged, right? We were up 11 cents, basically nothing on a day where gold had a nice big move. I don't like that. I understand that you started down here and you in the end closed in the high up there and it's quite a nice looking candle, but that was not, you know, we should have gone way above 80 yesterday. I didn't like that. And I think it is silly to sell Newmont before you at least test the all-time high, because Newmont will take out its all-time high and go to 100. I know that, but maybe there's a drop before it does that, especially when it's looking a bit weak and doesn't even go up with gold going up as much as it did yesterday. And GDX even went up quite decently. So Newmont wasn't impressive yesterday. Barrick Gold, not impressive yesterday. I know we had a crazy run, but that's what you're looking for. Like maybe this is a bit of an opportunity to trim. GDX and gold go even higher, and then they end up going sort of almost green. Okay, trim. Like it's weak, it wants to come down, it needs to take a breather, and maybe 2 weeks later it's ready to crack 30 and run to 40 or whatever, and the equivalent in Newmont. So Newmont and Barrick, same thing, weak, despite the help from gold and even GDX and everything else, silver and all that. Silver going towards 44 and Barrick can't even go green. Why is that? There's no company specific news as far as I'm concerned. Even Agnico Eagle, same thing. right? It's gone up non-stop. It's a good candle. It looks like it will. And if there's another good day in gold, which it should be, gold looked good technically, then Agnico can make new highs. But it's just feeling, it feels tired. Like gold was doing this sideways stuff. I get it, but gold broke out. I mean, gold thrusted higher yesterday. So Agnico Eagle should also be, you know, near 60 or something. And again, it's just sort of unchanged. So my seniors yesterday were kind of pathetic. Whereas some of the silvers, 5, 6, 7%, no, 8, 9%. Like you'd expect the senior gold stocks to be up 3 or 4. Honestly, that's not asking too much. Pan American silver, a little different because it's the silver senior. I mean, that one was at least up 1.5%, made a new all-time high, if you know what I mean. That's reaching a level that for a long time I thought was resistance. And I think it coincides quite well with this 43.50/44 zone. I feel like I mean, I did leave my sell in this. This is the only sell I've got for Pan America, 37.99. But at this point, if you take out that high of yesterday, Monday, 37.60, you're probably going to go higher than a couple of cents. But I want to trim at 37.99 and then just leave it. And then, like, okay, I'm done. If we keep going up, probably go all the way up to 44. Maybe I'll trim 44 and then just leave it. This is worth so much because it merged with MAG. This is by far my heaviest holding. And it's also gone vertical. But this one, I don't feel like trimming as much as the other seniors. The gold seniors, Newmont, Agnico, and Barrick, because it's not as weak and it goes up more. If silver's up, it goes up. If gold's up, it goes up. Whereas the other one's not as much, and it hasn't made new all-time high, and it should. I'm more bullish on Pan American than the other three, but it's worth like 1.5 times more. It's worth a ridiculous amount. So I may leave my sell or move it up a little bit just because of the fact that yesterday we almost hit it. So if we make a new high today, it will probably go up a few more cents. I'm just being greedy. Pan America needs to be trimmed around here for me. Otherwise, I'm just not comfortable. Wheaton, yeah, up 1%. It's a bit better than the other seniors. It's a royalty one. This one should just keep climbing based on its business model with the price of gold and silver. So I feel like this one is more likely to go up than the other ones, regardless of what the chart looks like. This in Franco-Nevada, the royalty business, it should just keep going up because of the price of gold. And it's broken out to new all-time highs, so you don't have to look on the left and see what the last resistance is. It's just basically an equation. Gold and silver up, this up. And I think gold and silver will continue to go up. So this, I'm not even looking at numbers. I have no sells, right? My new formula is if it makes new all-time highs, I just leave it. Franco Nevada, same thing, new all-time highs. That's a wonderful candle, up almost 2%, very strong. Just going to keep going up. No point in zooming out. Wonderful. You've also got a couple of trend lines you could probably use on some of these. Look at that. So steep, but that's a credible trend line. No chance of breaking it yet. So the royalty company is better than the non-royalty seniors. Metalla. All right, this royalty, sort of junior royalty, is just getting tired at this 580 resistance. But I trimmed it ages ago at 580. I'm just leaving it. If it goes down, fine. I can buy back, gap fill, go down here. I think long term, this is a real winner, like go all the way up to double digits. And it's not worth a crazy amount. It's compared to the others, it is worth a lot more than it was because it's gone up and because I added on the way up, which I rarely do. But I'm happy I got the courage to do that. So this one I'm just holding down, buy, up, hold. I've got no sells in place. I've got very little sells in place at all, actually, across all my miners. I've probably got about 8 or 9, and I have about 25 miners or something. So, all right, the mid tiers. I am gold straight away. You can see 2.5%. Equinox 2.5%. I prefer that than these seniors up here where they weren't even up basically. And AmGold has a lot more room to run, a lot more sensitive to the price in gold. I think their all-in sustaining costs are much higher. So with the price of gold going up, it starts to look more and more profitable, and therefore the share price has to reflect that. And all these little levels, I used to have sales on them, I deleted them. I think I may have one or two in there, some of the ones that are really far away. But this is just vertical move. But it's not worth as much as the seniors, and I feel like I'll leave these one or two little trims in. But I am still thinking about selling more of the seniors and so that these mid tiers are worth similar to the seniors. I feel like you can get a lot more out of Iron Gold and Equinox than a Nico and even Newmont. They'll all go up, but this one more. So, but yeah, vertical move up. So there you go. Let's see if that continues. Small trims on this one. Equinox, same thing. Although here, I think it could reach its all-time high of 13. I think that's doable. I think it's yesterday that was okay. If we have another move up, if gold starts to move up towards, 3,800 to 4,000, these things have to make new all-time highs, especially if gold holds that number. Imagine how much money these mines, all of them, but these mid tiers, the price has to reflect that. You can't really go all the way up and come all the way back down. No, gold's staying at that high price. Those earnings are going to reflect it. So I've got one or two trims in this one, very small, light stuff. I'm not looking to sell too much of the mid tiers. Like I said, it's more the seniors. B2 Gold, there must have been news yesterday. I didn't read into it. I mean, big swings. It did come back. In the end, it's down 2%, which is basically nothing. But gold was up strong, so I need to read what the news was. I just hold too many stocks. Yeah, but I think this, even if it's, well, actually B2 Gold, you got to watch out the jurisdiction, geography. I need to read into that. I, yeah, need to read into that. Harmony, fine, it's doing what I thought it would do. Let's just hover sideways and ultimately go back up. Despite the fact that it went down because of higher costs, I just think it's going to go up because of gold. And gold starts to run to 4,000. I don't care what the numbers are. You're going to have to make new all-time highs and go to 20 basically. Aris Mining, Jesus. This one I'm surprised hasn't taken out 10 yet, but yesterday's candle was very nice. And I think today we do it. If gold's higher by the time we open, we should finally take out 10. I think I got a little trim at 10 because I feel some sort of a resistance at 10. Yeah, trust me, there's a resistance at 10 there. But it's a big number, psychological number, and we've had a vertical move. So if you're going to trim, you might as well trim at 10 and then leave it. And that's what I'm going to do. SPSW, uh, fine, not the strongest day, but we've definitely bounced and holding this bounce level from the big drop, which I bought. So I think as the other metals, and I'm starting to see these other ones. I mean, uranium, I know we don't talk much about uranium. I hold quite a decent amount of uranium. Yesterday was a crazy day for uranium. You can see some of them here, 10, 15%, crazy stuff. But some of these other commodities are doing well. Platinum, palladium, I think will also go up. They could start to outperform again. There was that little moment where they outperformed. I don't know if they're going to outperform silver, but this should break out beyond 10. So I've got one seller just underneath the last high, like 979, and then I'm just leaving it. All right, let's look at silver stocks finally, because they had a nice day. First Majestic, 2.5% is not incredible, but for First Majestic, that's okay because it's been a bit stubborn here. We had that nice move. Then we had a small continuation breather, and then yesterday we were green again. Nice candle, nice close, sort of near high of day close. That's what we want to see. I think we can continue as long as silver goes up. And I think it's going to continue to catch up. I think 1150 is your first resistance. I don't think that's hard to reach. I can imagine easily it going straight through as if there's nothing there. Maybe there is nothing there. And then basically a move to 14. That's what I'm looking for in First Majestic. And it's only just started. It's underperformed. It's got a lot of catching up to do. It's well known. It's a cult stock. And I think it's one that a lot of institutions will go to if they look for exposure in the silver space. So First Majestic looks great for a hold. Fortuna, that was a bit strange. And I don't even think that's news. Okay, it's resistance. I get it, but you shouldn't really be going down when silver's up. So I'm just so convinced that Fortuna hits its all-time high that I don't really care what it does. I'm just gonna trim there, and I already trimmed this 849. But that'd be a shame if it never gets there. I think silver 44, you've got Fortuna there. And then I need to start thinking about my exposure to Fortuna because I don't think I can't put it in line with CDE and Heckler, right? You guys are more experts than me in these stocks, but I don't think Fortuna is. as good a hold, no matter how much it's gone up or hasn't gone up. I just this the company itself, just from what I gather, just not as I shouldn't have that much money in Fortuna, you know? I shouldn't be having as much in Fortuna as I do in Heckler, which I don't. Heckler's worth more because it's gone up more, but usually, traditionally, they're worth the same, and I don't think Fortuna deserves that. So it's going to go up. It's going to hit its all-time high, and I'm going to trim that, and then I'm going to try and maybe even replace it with some of the other silver stocks that are better that I don't hold. It's just something I've always thought about, and when on days like this, I think about it even more. CD, look at that, gone up a crazy amount. You can see yesterday I was dreaming a bit, gone up a crazy amount, and then it does that. So I don't know what the RSI is, and I've trimmed CDE like twice here or something, little stuff. Thank God it's only little stuff. But yesterday went up 9%, closed at a high of day, despite going up. I mean, it went vertical non-stop for ages, and it's able to still muster a 10% move. And by the way, we've taken out all these little sideways lines. I'm going to start deleting them. They might be useful on the way down, but right now they're just annoying to the eyes. There you go. That's what we've done. Complete and utter decade resistance reached. And after that, yeah, these are correct. We go up, up, up. Next stop basically is 20. 20, which seems so close. It's like 1 day away move, but it's already almost 20%. What a crazy move. That's why I sold yesterday, because it was just vertical. It doesn't even count my sell. It's a pathetic amount. That is really incredible though. And you know what, CD, I see some people posting about CD. I've been in CD since the absolute gutter down here. And I've been in it for ages. I owned it in 2016, but I was owning it whilst it went down. I can't just say, yeah, I bought it at the bottom. I was adding, that I will say. And I remember it was in the ones, wasn't it? Jesus. But this move here is as good as this move here. I mean, kind of. It's not, but it almost is. And it's not over. If silver goes to 44, I don't know. You see, normally you could excuse CDE for being down 3% today, Tuesday, if even if silver's up 1.5%. You could understand it like, yeah, it's just crazy run. It needs a breather. This is not bearish. But you know what? If silver goes to 43/44, CD will start making this move to 20. And you can't say the same thing for Fortuna. So I think I've got no sells in CDE. Um, But if silver starts to go to 43.5/44, the last resistance for me before the run to 50, yeah, I'll trim again. No problem. And I'm going to buy the hell out of it as it comes back down. That is a little speechless there. Perfect. And I just don't know where it gets the energy from. You know, Heckler. This one also, I put in line with CD, able to move up nicely, no matter how much of a run it's had, just because it's following silver. Okay, it went up half as much as CD, but still. Nice candle, bullish engulfing, closed pretty close to high of day, taken out its resistance from down here from 15 years ago. It's just like records set every day. Next stop 13. I've got a little sell there. I remember that. And then after that, the chart gets weird. And because once you take out this one here, this 13, it's the next high is over here, 15 or whatever. But that's from before 2000. That's 1994, 5. That's weird. So it's taken out all the bull run that we know, since 2000. And I wasn't in 2000. So yeah. Um, Next EXK. See, a bit like Fortuna, a bit sort of pathetic when you're looking at Heckler and CDE, just grinding higher. This should be way higher. Again, EXK, I'm thinking of a bit like Fortuna. First Majestic is also a little pathetic compared to CD and Heckler, but I know that one has potential. The chart looks much better, a move to 14. But EXK and Fortuna, I don't think they deserve the same status. Um, this one will go up. I mean, I don't care with the news or what the reason is. Obviously, we came back down here. I actually bought this because I thought it was so undervalued. But I mean, it should go back up, test its old 670 high, but we should be all the way at 760. And I think we'll get there because of silver, if anything. But this one for sure, I'll trim. It's just weak, basically, like Fortuna. So I've got plans for these two. I would prefer to be in other silver stocks. I don't even know which ones yet, but someone, maybe the juniors. Maybe instead of putting 6K in EXK, I should just put 2K in three juniors and hold that for a year. Even though EXK will probably end up going all the way up here once we take out 50 and run. Still, that's only 100%, and these juniors will probably do 300%. That's what I'm thinking, actually. Something like that. Or I keep half the amount I've got now in EXK and put the rest in two or three juniors. And that's it, actually. That's all. Oh, no, sorry. I do actually have three juniors. So, yeah, Aftermath Silver went crazy yesterday. Now I'm thinking what an idiot I am, and I should have bought more when it was down here. But it's basically where I bought it now, a little higher. I think it went up because some of these junior guys that we follow, Don Durrett or his friend, what's his name, Fleck or something. There's some people were talking about it, or there was some meeting in what is it called, Bear Creek or something. Apparently, that's enough to move the stock 20%. That indicates how small the sector is or how influential those guys are that I listen to. I don't know if that's good or bad, but up it went 20%. I'm just holding this. I think it's going to go all the way up here. I've heard good things about it, and it hasn't really moved. So I'm just holding that. Wish I should have bought more there. This one, Juanto, this is the one where they Don thinks it's going to go up a huge amount if silver does. Fine. I think silver's going to go to 50, and I think this can do it. It was down yesterday, but this is allowed to be down. It's got up, I think, almost 50% or maybe even more in a couple of days. So that's allowed to happen. And finally, the one I always forget about, Aya Gold Silver. This one for me is just a magnet to 19. And I think it's like more of a mid tier, and I think it's gonna do it, especially with gold going up, gold and silver going up. All right, that's it. For me, the big takeaway, and I've yesterday I was just looking at the numbers and I just went to sleep. I just didn't even act on it. I didn't do a video. I just had to process everything because some of these silver moves, CDE, Heckler. But again, the gold stocks, the senior gold stocks, every day they just inch higher. They're getting tired. I just feel like, why don't I just trim some here, like a decent amount? Yeah, they can keep going up, but if we drop, I'll just buy some mid tiers instead, and then I'll sort of change the weighting of my miners portfolio so that I have a little less of a heavier emphasis on the seniors, and it becomes more equal throughout. I feel like now the stage we're in the cycle is it's it's more primed towards the mid tiers. I don't want to say the juniors. The juniors have already run, but I think the seniors leading the way, the booster rocket seniors, starting to, you know, be like lose their muster. So I should act accordingly rather than holding the seniors. They'll still hold this. They'll still be my heaviest holding, but just a little less. Anyway, that's an internal conversation, I guess. Guys, good luck. Let's see what happens. Today is the last day before Fed Day. So, and we've gone up non-stop. So I have more of a feeling that a trim is the right thing. Anyway, good luck. Let me know what you think.